Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time because I'm not repeating myself. Glad everybody can be with me on this good Monday. Please make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I'm on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can follow me on TikTok at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod, and I'm also on Instagram at I'm Not Repeating Myself Pod. Hope everybody had a good weekend, man. I know I definitely did. We are coming up on the last 3 weeks of the year. Actually, 2 weeks because Christmas is, next week. Hopefully, everybody got their Christmas shopping done now. If you're one of those people who like to wait to the last minute, God bless. But I know some people who like to knock it out early. Some people get it done in November. Some even I know October. But I just know when you wait to the last minute, it's more of a hassle. It's more of a hassle. So you want to go ahead and get that done, get it over with, so you're not scrambling around trying to figure things out at the last minute. So, and ultimately, y'all being safe. But I hope everybody had a good week and also a good weekend. I know it definitely did. We got some new music that we're going to get into. So we're going to go ahead and jump right into it. First on the docket, we have What Happened to the Streets by 21 Savage. I want to salute 21 Savage. I didn't have a chance to check out his interview yet with Big Bank, but I will definitely sit down and watch that. Of course, I was part of the rollout. There was a couple of key points in there that he spoke to that I want to speak on. I'll probably speak on it next time, but I didn't have a chance to sit down and actually sit with that. But this is a 14-track album. Again, this is What Happened to the Streets. Now, that first half was kind of like almost kind of like a snooze fest. I really wasn't messing with that first half, but after about track 8, which is Dog Shit with Glorilla, it started picking up. Second half, that second half is very very good, very very good. Again, you got 14 tracks. You got Where You From, High, Step Brothers with Young Nudie, Cutfill, Pop It with Lotto, Mystery Coop with Drake, Jump Out, Dog Shit with Glorilla, Code of Honor, G Herbo, Gang Over Everything, Metro Boomin, Halftime Interlude, Big Stepper, Atlanta Tears, and I Wish with Jawan Harris, Atlanta Tears with Lil Baby. Now, this second half, from Code of Honor to I Wish, I fuck with. My standout tracks on this album is Code of Honor, Gang Over Everything, Atlanta Tears, and I Wish. So that second half run is good, but being that I really wasn't feeling that first half, if I had to give this a rating, I'd probably give it a 6.5, 6.5, 6.5 to 7. It's not a bad album. It's not great neither. It's kind of like in the middle, solid. A couple of tracks. Again, those are the 4 tracks that I probably would revisit on this album. The collab track with Drake, Mystery Coop, I ain't really feeling that. I ain't really feeling it too much, man. They could have kept that one. And usually I like when Drake at 21. Of course, I love Her Loss. I like anytime they come together. They don't really have any bad tracks together for real, but this track in particular, I'm cool on it, dog. I'm cool on it. I'm cool. The beat is terrible. I really wasn't fucking with the beat. They could have kept that beat. And then it just didn't mesh. It just didn't mesh. But all in all, though, man, I love that second half. That second half kind of makes me forget about that first half. Again, from track 9 all the way to 14, that code of honor is hard. And I'm not really a big G Herbo fan like that. But anytime I hear this nigga really be rapping for real. So maybe I need to give his projects a little bit more spin. I never really was a big G Herbo fan, but anytime I hear him on somebody else shit, dog doing his thing. Dog is doing his thing. So I definitely want to give him his props. The other features, again, you had Lotto on Pop It. That was all right. Lil Baby on Atlanta Tears. That was fire. Metro Boomin, Gang Over Everything. But Jawan Harris on I Wish, of course, sampling R. Kelly's I Wish. That was real, real dope. I'm actually surprised nobody, well, I'm not surprised, of course. We all know what R. Kelly's been dealing with. But I'm surprised prior nobody really sampled that record before. But that was a dope way to sample a classic record. That was a dope way to sample that record. That record is hard. I fuck with it. I'm surprised it actually don't got a video for it now. That would have been hard too. Being that all the original record had a video too. So that would have been hard for them to get on there and do that. But I definitely fuck with that track. When I first heard it, I'm like, oh shit, this nigga This nigga sampling redacted on this motherfucker. That's crazy because a lot of people don't really touch his classic work against everything that he's been found guilty of. But hey man, salute to 21 man. Again, not bad, not great, don't blow me out the water either, but it's definitely a couple of tracks on here that I'll definitely revisit for sure. So salute to 21. I definitely want to check out his album as well. I mean his interview with Big Bank as well. So next up we have Nas and DJ Premier. Now y'all know me. I be sitting in the cut, being that of course I'm a big Jay-Z fan. So I always gonna, when it comes to the Nas and Jay-Z thing, I'm gonna always lean towards Jay. And Nas, I don't really have a dislike. It's kind of more like a like, want to poke fun at. And if you're a first time listener, that's kind of like my thing. I like to poke fun at Nas, all because of the whole Jay-Z thing. Of course, I acknowledge him as being one of the greatest that this game has seen, without a doubt. One of the goats. And I've actually defended him early this year when he was getting a lot of unnecessary shots. But him and DJ Premier dropped the album called Light-Years. And nah, this ain't it. Now, Nas, he sounds good on this album. I'll give Nas his props. Nas sounds good on this album. DJ Premier, mm-mm. I won't revisit this album. It's a 15 track album, but and so crazy because Nas has had a great year as far as features. He has had a great year as far as features. I will not take that from him. But this album in collaboration with DJ Premier is nah. And there's nothing wrong with, getting with your producer that you're comfortable with and doing it. But I felt like for Nas to still sound sharp and in shape, DJ Premier didn't sound that way at all. He didn't sound that way at all on this album. Honestly, just because I feel like rapping and production go hand in hand, man. If I'm rating it, I'm honestly giving it like a 5, maybe a 5, like right down the middle. Just for the simple fact that production it wasn't good. I wasn't fucking with it at all. This is no indictment on DJ Premier, who he is as a producer. He's an all-time legend, but this album in particular, nah, could have kept it. Could have kept it for real. And I thought a couple of them was gonna be dope. Like you got New York State of Mind Part 3, Welcome to the Underground. You actually had Third Childhood. Now the ode that he did to the female rappers on Bouquet, that was dope. When he shouted out all the female rappers, past, present, in the game, that was dope. But outside of this, there's nothing that that's like catching me. Nothing that's standing out for real. So yeah, dog, you could have kept that. You could have kept that one, bro. I'm not fucking with that one at all, man. I'm not. But again, salute to Nas because he has had a dope year. He has had a dope year. And, hopefully he continues to put out some albums, do some dope work. But this one in particular with DJ Premier, mm-mm, mm-mm. Not feeling this one, dog. So you can keep that, man. You can keep that. And I think that's pretty much it as far as new music. Let me see. Any other new releases that came? No, that's pretty much it. I know Pooh Shiesty, he dropped a new record. I wasn't able to hear that. I'm not really a Pooh Shiesty fan like that. But I did see that he dropped his, kind of like his first day out record. I think it was called FOD. So for the listeners, I'll probably check it out because I don't really listen to him like that. But I might I'll probably give Dog a ear. Man. So that's pretty much it as far as new music. There's nothing else really that came out that I need to cover as far as new music. Of course, we coming up on the end of the year. We still waiting on Iceman from Drake. And speaking of that, we did have some news in hip hop media that's funny. That's funny because we did have some news that came out this week that Hot 97 is officially they've been throughout the whole year, they kind of been chopping slots down of notable names. So Ebro in the Morning, that's officially done. And I find that interesting because this guy, and I'm not a fan of Ebro at all, and I'm not really gonna give this too much burn, but it's just funny how this. It's funny how this is ending off the heels of course, what we had last year going into this year with that whole battle, and and again, this is no disrespect. I'm just not the fan of the way that he has taken over, how he had conducted himself as far as hip hop media, how it trend, like how like he moved within it and all of that. But I say that to say that radio overall, from an overall standpoint, radio, I saw this coming. Like podcasting is still, a lot of people are listening. They want quick reaction. That's why you got a lot of the streamers. Radio play is not as prominent, of course, because people have Spotify, Apple Music, and all that. And I think the marriage between hip hop media and artists is not what it used to be as far as radio, which where they come, especially you being in a big prominent city like New York City. Like there was a time I remember the interview with 50 Cent and Ebro, and Ebro literally was trying to blame 50 Cent for messing up New York hip hop when that really wasn't the case at all. Yes, 50 was beefing with everybody and stuff like that, but Ebro would not play the new artist records. He would not, when they started transitioning over to that blog era, he wouldn't play their records. I remember this nigga saying, I'm only playing people that's popping, regardless of what region it was. But you being in New York City, you shouldn't embrace that new era and playing other people's. 50 said in an interview. If you get a chance, go check out that interview. But I found it funny because it was time. It was time. I kind of felt like he was the guy in hip hop media who was like, the old man who didn't want to give up his spot, like threatened by trying to give up new talent and all that. It just wasn't, I just never liked it. Like, in my opinion, it just wasn't good. It just wasn't good. But I found it funny because, of course, dislike aside, he is one of the prominent names in the hip hop media. But it just goes to show, man, there's a transition going on. It's going to be a lot of independent media. A lot of independent media. Like people, you're gonna have to get out here and bet on yourself. These companies are not really shelling out the dollars for radio personalities anymore. That's not where the game is. You're gonna have to get out here and build your own audience. And if you probably are that valuable, some networks may reach out to you so you can have your own show and shit like that. But ultimately, what niggas are gonna have to start doing is betting on themselves. I say this shit damn near almost every episode. I sound like a broken record. But that's where it's transitioning to, especially with hip hop. Like you got, the streamers, the streamers are inserting a new, how can I say, branch to the tree. You got rappers going on streamers platforms now. They having live discussions while basically engaging with the chat, the live chat and shit like that. Rappers are going to podcasts now prior to albums dropping. They're not really stopping by the radio station no more. You get what I'm saying? Like, of course, you still got the Breakfast Club. The Breakfast Club is still a staple. They doing their thing. But if you remember back then, the radio was the stopping point. There was a start and stopping point, actually. There was no podcasting. When it came to promoting, you was hitting the radio stations in every major city, Chicago, Atlanta, LA, New York, Miami, all that. You was going straight to the radio station. And I'm not saying the radio stations don't still have a place. They are, especially if you're talented and you're doing your thing. But I do see a transition of it weaning out because what's the benefit? Especially if the marriage between the artists and the radio personalities are not there. I think that's a key factor. Like the artists and the radio personalities, they should have a marriage so dope to where there's no hesitation that, yeah, we coming up to the station and I'm gonna still stop by and I'm gonna still go do another podcast. You know what I'm saying? But I found that very interesting. I felt like it was kind of long overdue because it just need a change, just need a new energy. I don't know what Hot 97 got going on because a lot of the slots again have been going away since the beginning of the year. But it was just like interesting, especially off the heels of everything that he's been saying. I felt like he was also a big divide in the whole Kendrick and Drake shit. It was just a whole bunch of unnecessary shit, essentially. Like there's nothing wrong with just being true and authentic. You could be a fan, but you could be fair as well. You don't really have to try to drive narratives. You can also have fun at the same time too. But when you're serious and trying to drive particular narratives, or you don't want to see others flourish, or you just want to hold so tight into your position, there's no room for others to grow. Because it's all about growing and expansion. You're not the first and not going to be the last one to love hip hop, to love rap, to love what this culture gives. So if you're out here and you have radio aspirations, I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. But you might have to get out here and bet on yourself and start your own shit. Because the reality, and this is just on TV too. TV too, we see it with all the other networks. We see it with ESPN. We see it with Fox. They chopping out all the shows. And unless you dope for real, you will be out of here in about a year, 2.5. You can't look at it as a long-term thing. Because these networks aren't looking for personalities no more, for them to build up and for them to just put in front of an audience and watch them grow. No, they want you to already have an audience. That's what they're looking for. They're looking for audience themselves so they can come in and buy your IP. I see the play. That's what they want. They want audiences. That's all they want. They want audiences. So you might as well do it yourself. And as you continue to get bigger, you dictate the terms. But hip hop and radio, man, it had a great run. Shit, fucking MTV is over, bruh. MTV is over. That was some other big news this week. I saw that after 44 years, MTV will be finally done going into 2026, and I find that sad. I just don't think in real time as a kid I ever saw a day where MTV would be over. Like, I just didn't see that. Like, you got BET still here, but BET don't play music videos. It's like that's like a TV show network now. Like, when BET and MTV first started, we know that to be the premier music channels, along with VH1. VH1 transitioned to reality TV, and it's been that ever since. It's been that for almost 20 years now. But MTV ending is so crazy to me because just a collaboration with the news, TRL, the countdowns. I've spoken about the countdowns before. Like, we coming up on the end of the year, bro. When BET used to do the notarized top 100, I know MTV used to do a countdown too, but I can't remember what it was. But it goes back to how, damn, music videos ain't what it used to be. Music videos ain't what it used to be. I remember when early this year they was talking about bringing kind of a new installment of 106 Apart. And I said the only way that's going to work is if artists put more effort into the music videos. But music videos are not premiered on TV no more. When artists drop a new music video, they're premiering it on their Instagram or on their TikTok, and then you're going to go right to YouTube and play it. Sometimes the full video will be right on their Instagram. So MTV going away is just, along with the times. I still feel like we could get back to that. But it'll be more so on the effort of the artist to want to kind of preserve that moment for TV. But that's just not where we're at anymore. And it's crazy because, of course, everything is at the palm of our hands. But I still feel like there's a way that you can integrate that and still have it alive. But MTV going away after 44 years. So I got to say RIP to MTV. That was, man, TRL after school. Again, with BET 106 at Park after school. So MTV going away, man. That's just crazy. After 44 years. That's fucking insane, man. So, hey, salute to all the memories I had with MTV, man. Definitely a dope music channel, especially when it came to, TRL and premiering new music videos and, the dope behind the music and all type of shit. Like, that's another thing. Like, having all the behind the scenes music shit. Like VH1, they had a series called Behind the Music, and TRL had, like, when they used to do music videos, the behind the scenes for music videos. BET, the same shit. I still feel like we could get back to that, but it would just have to go back to the artist preserving that moment for that. But that's just not where we're at anymore, man. That's not where we're at. It's just been a lot of changes, going to continue to be a lot of changes. Again, we're transitioning into a lot more independent media. A lot of y'all are not going to be dependent on these networks to set you up, put you in front of an audience. You're going to have to build your own shit. That's just where we're at, of course, across any spectrum, sports, music, and it's all of it, man. So that's pretty much all I got on that music front. So, moving on into some sports news, man. Some sad sports news, actually. Sherrone Moore. So, this news had broke on Wednesday, and I was shocked. Because I'm like, Sherrone Moore, of course, he's the head coach of Michigan. He came after Jim Harbaugh left in 2023 after he won a national championship with Michigan. And Sherrone Moore, he basically, he's been there for about 2 years now. I think he's had back to back. Let me see, because I think he's had like back to back 10-win seasons. Let me see. All right, so Michigan. So Michigan this year was 9-3 overall. I think the year before they was 9-3 as well. But this is just a sad story, man. God damn it. God. So he got fired on Wednesday, and immediately the first thought I had was, well, god damn, this nigga didn't even get a chance. He wasn't there long enough to establish anything. Come to find out, this man had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member on the team. Allegedly, he went over to her house, threatened to kill himself in front of her, and blame her and have her watch him do it. He then was arrested. He was charged with a felony, third-degree home invasion, and two misdemeanors, stalking in a domestic relationship, and breaking and entering. Moore was released from jail after meeting a $25,000 bond. The arrangement and charges offered a window into Moore's actions after he was fired for cause to an inappropriate relationship with a staff member. Now, he was making $5 to $6 million a year, and he threw all that way for a side chick. Another sad story of niggas letting lust deter them off their mission. And he had a perfect job. That was a perfect coaching job, especially coming after Harbaugh. That was a perfect, I think that job would have propelled him into levels he could have never imagined. Because, again, I'm not saying that he was this great coach neither, but he was building. He was getting better, in my opinion. Now, in real time, he wasn't really all that. But to, have back-to-back 9-win seasons, kind of doing his thing, he was getting a little better. He still needed some more time. But I think he kind of just fucked up his whole progress with this shit right here. And this is not no situation like, I'm not really trying to, throw mud on dog name, but Ime Udoka, where he was already established as a great coach. So he was able to come from under, and he didn't have no domestic violence situation with his shit neither. He didn't have no domestic dispute. He just got caught, messing with somebody that he shouldn't be messing with in the Boston organization. But he was able to land another job, doing a great job in Houston, by the way, too. But Sherrone Moore, you're not that. You're not that at all. You just started. And you literally just deleted all of your progress with this shit right here. I don't see him getting another prominent job like this. Like, he's going to have to start from the bottom. We've all seen comeback stories, but this is one of the all-time fumbles of fumbles. Especially to be like, context matters here. We're talking about Michigan. This is one of the premier jobs in college football. All eyes are on you. The recruit class is what it is. You have room to grow as well. And this definitely could have propelled him into levels to where I truly believe beyond his dreams and aspirations. But for all of this, man, it's just, this is insane, bro. Like, you threatening to go over there and kill yourself in front of her, breaking and entering, like, because allegedly he got her pregnant. So it's like, bro, what the fuck is going on? What is going on, man? And just all the stuff that he had leaking from his, his DMs, and actually one of the OnlyFans girls, she been playing into it. She been playing into it on her IG, wearing Michigan attire and all that. Now, wearing a Michigan jacket done become like a meme now, but a nasty boy meme. Nothing good, a nasty boy meme. I actually seen somebody put, the Michigan jacket over a girl's picture. She didn't even know what it means, but, basically saying rate or risk it all. And I can never see how niggas don't be thinking long term in terms of their career. Just stupid shit. Just stupid. Again, we seen this with Shannon Sharp earlier this year. And then another thing too, just to do it, like, them girls don't even be fine. Cause he's a milk merchant. We're gonna call it what it is. He a milk merchant. His wife is white. I think he got 3 kids. Then the staff member that he was messing with, she's white. Now she keeping her job. I don't know how she keeping her job, but that's another conversation for another day. I'm not going to deep dive on that because if I get into it, I'm going to say some shit that, a lot of motherfuckers ain't going to like, but I see the play with that there. So from my understanding, she's still keeping her job. But this shit here, man, is I mean, but it's so crazy because I was seeing on Twitter there were tweets from certain accounts like earlier this month that was highlighting how he was about to get fired for the same shit. Now apparently Michigan been knew about this shit. What they was doing was they was waiting until recruiting passed to fire him because they didn't want nobody decommitting and all kind of shit, whatever the case may be. But this is just an all-time fumble of all fumbles for you to fuck it up over a side chick. It just doesn't make sense. I always say that lust will ruin you if you can't control that shit. That lust will ruin you if you cannot control that shit. And ultimately, what a lot of niggas got to do, man, for real, and I said this before, man, sometimes you got to rub that thing out, man. Sometimes you got to rub that thing out. If you rub that thing out, that'll save you some headache. That'll save you some problems. And then just on top of that, too, another thing, you at Michigan. Why even risk it messing with somebody at your job? Why? You the head coach at Michigan. You the head coach at Michigan, bro. I'm pretty sure you don't have no problems getting nobody outside of your workplace. So it was just a bad move on all fronts. Make it $5 to $6 million a year, and you threw it all away for a side chick. Breaking and entering, fucking insane. That's insane, bro. It's bad enough that you got caught lacking with somebody at your job, but the breaking and entering shit, that's what make it worse. Like threatening to kill yourself, all because of your fuck up. All because of your fuck up. Like I don't understand the play with that, and I don't have no sympathy for dog, to be honest. You fumbled. Hopefully I want to see him bounce back because of course he's a brother. I want to see him bounce back, but it's gonna take a long time. It's probably gonna take a long time for him to bounce back. We've seen other examples, but I feel like all those situations are isolated. You get what I'm saying? Like it's a lot of these situations are isolated. I think we seen with Urban Meyer again, Ime Udoka. There was another coach that got caught up too in a scandal, but this was one of the all-time fumbles of all fumbles, especially when it comes to black coaches. It's just never worth it in the long term, bro. It's never worth it in the long term, man. Like some of the shit that he was doing, I seen they had the one story with the one OnlyFans chick. He was offering. He was asking for a foursome. He was offering a crazy amount of money too. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was a crazy amount of money. I'm like, oh man, this motherfucker's sinister. This man is fucking sinister, bro. That shit is fucking insane. So again, man, I don't got nothing for Sherrone Moore. Again, I would have to watch how this shit plays out. But as far as coaching, it's gonna take a long climb. To get back right, man, because what the fuck, bro? Just what the fuck? That's all I can say is what the fuck, man. And, again, this is another sad example of what not to do for anything. This ain't even just boiled down to coaching. This anybody. If you got a dream and an aspiration and you already in the middle of fulfilling that, lust can easily fuck it up. Lust can easily fuck it up. Again, just to make sometimes, man, you just gotta rub that thing out, man. Rub that thing out, man. That shit will save you. That shit will save you for real, bro. That shit will save you. But my God, bro, like I'm still kind of like processing this whole shit because I don't think I ever seen it to this level before where, when you looking at the details and how he went about it. Like again, it was bad enough that you was fucking with somebody on your staff, but to drive over there and threatening to kill yourself, my nigga, that just make it 10 times worse. Yes, the reality is a lot of people fuck with people on their job, and a lot of them shouldn't be doing that. Some jobs they don't care about that. So especially when you talk about coaching, Fucking with staff members, that's a no-no. You just don't do that. But you risk millions and a potential all-time career for that. It ain't worth it, bro. It's not worth it. It's not worth it, man. So again, I got no sympathy for Sherrone Moore. I'm definitely interested to see how this plays out. But my goodness, bro. What a fucking fumble. What a motherfucking fumble, man. Just sad. All in all, sad. So moving on to some basketball talk. Well, actually, let me not go to basketball first. Let me go ahead. Let me stay on college football. Because the college football playoff is officially here. The bracket is set. And I want to go. Oh, hold on. My bad. Let me go ahead. Let me pull this thing out. Let me get this thing right. So the bracket is set. So the 12 team goes as, let me go from 1 through 4. You have Indiana. You have Ohio State 2 seed, 3 seed Georgia, 4 seed Texas Tech. They have the byes. You had going into 5, you have Oregon. 6, you have Ole Miss. 7, Texas A&M. 8, Oklahoma. 9, Alabama. 10, Miami. 11, Tulane. 12, James Madison. James Madison will take on Oregon in the first round. Alabama, Oklahoma will meet up in the first round. Tulane and Ole Miss will meet up in the first round. And Texas A&M and Miami will meet up in the first round. The playoffs will start December 19th and will run into January 19th. Championship will be held in Miami. So everybody's speaking about this big controversy about Notre Dame not making the college football playoff. Have no remorse for Notre Dame. I've been saying it for years. We don't have to cater to you motherfuckers because y'all independent. Join the conference. And when you're independent, you should go undefeated. I always said that about them. I've always said that because they're in an independent conference. Go undefeated. At the minimum, lose 1 game. We don't have to sit up here and cater to you motherfuckers because you're independent. I've been saying this. These niggas are 10-2. No, you wasn't getting in. So if you wanted to put them G5 teams in with James Madison and, Tulane, hey, salute to them. Salute to them. But again, I think they are going to transition next year because also ACC, and I didn't know this, the ACC kind of fucked this whole shit up too. So the ACC, how they do, they base say shit off of conference wins and not the overall record. So that's how you was able to get a 5-loss Duke in the ACC championship, and they ultimately won it. But you're not going to put a 5-win team into it. So this is how they should do it, and I think they're going to do it next year. All the Power 5 conferences, automatic bids. Point blank, period. Automatic bids. I don't care how you rank them, but automatic bids. Just go ahead and make all the conference champs automatic bids so we don't have to sit up here and do, who we think, this one got. I don't give a fuck if they have 4 or 5 losses. If they win their conference, ACC, Big 12, Big 10, SEC, and I'm missing one. Just go ahead and put them in. That's what you do. You go ahead and you just put all them in. It might just be 4 now because we don't have to pack. Yeah, we don't have to pack 10 no more. So just all of them, just go ahead and put them in because all you had was the Big 10 champ for real, the SEC champ, and the Big 12 champ. That's all you had because the ACC champ wasn't getting in because, of course, the champ had 5 losses. But all 4 should be automatic. Just go ahead and put all 4 of them in there. And Notre Dame, you go ahead and you join one of these conferences so you don't have to worry about this shit going forward. These motherfuckers, they don't want to play no bowl game because they wanted to be in the playoff. So they threw a hissy fit about that. So, but ultimately, get y'all funky asses in the conference and you won't have to worry about this shit. Again, we don't have to cater to y'all niggas because y'all independent, bro. I never was a fan of them niggas. I never was a fan of them. Always been imaginary players, in my opinion. But the entitlement that they think they have because we have to view them on a different scale and then their independent schedule is not really all that for real. It's never been. It's not like they be scheduling these tough out-of-conference games, bro. They don't. So I don't got no remorse. I don't got no remorse for them niggas, man. It is what it is. Salute to James Madison and Tulane for getting it in. I don't care if James Madison and Tulane get blown out by a combined score of 84-0. They still deserve the spot over Notre Dame. That's how I feel about it. Join the conference. But as far as my prediction on who's going to win it, I do got Ohio State repeating as champs. I think I will say this, though. Being that Indiana is Indiana is the 1 seed. Their side of the bracket is pretty much tougher than Georgia, and they're the 3 seed. So Georgia will have to play either Tulane or Ole Miss. You got to think, goddamn, Lane Kiffin just left Ole Miss, so they'll get a interim head coach Ole Miss team, which matters, and a Tulane team, and then Indiana got Alabama, Oklahoma. I kind of find that kind of like, all right, bro, like, what we doing for real? Like, I'm the 1 seed. If anything, it should have been Tulane, Ole Miss for Indiana, but neither here nor there. The championship, I got Ohio State repeating. As far as who they're gonna meet in the championship, honestly, I think it'll be a rematch of the SEC championship game. No disrespect to Indiana, but I think Alabama, they'll lock in and eventually, and it's not gonna be a easy one with Oklahoma, because Oklahoma has beaten them. But I do have a rematch of the SEC championship game for the national championship between Alabama and Ohio. No, I'm tripping. My bad, y'all. I either have, let me walk that back because I'm fucking this whole shit up. So I either have a national championship rematch between Georgia and Alabama, but ultimately I have Ohio State versus Alabama for the national championship. I do think Ohio State will beat Georgia, but Georgia is looking good. But my national championship game prediction will be Ohio State versus Alabama. I think Alabama will bounce back from that SEC championship loss and eventually get to the championship, but ultimately lose to Ohio State. But I will not be surprised if Georgia gets there as well, because Georgia, they're on high streak right now as well. So that's my prediction as far as the college football playoff. I don't really see no upsets in the first round. I definitely think everybody will take care of business in the first round. I think Texas A&M will beat Miami. Ole Miss will beat Tulane. Alabama beat Oklahoma. Oregon is going to absolutely smoke James Madison. Smoke him. But yeah, that's my predictions. Excuse me. As far as my national championship. Some other college football news. Mendoza, he won the Heisman. You already know how I feel about the Heisman. Heisman was some imaginary player type shit this year. I'm not really acknowledging it. I still stand by what I said earlier this year. This is by far the weakest Heisman Trophy class that I've ever seen in my lifetime. By far the weakest. So yeah, I'm not really big on that. But one thing that I did find interesting. So the Fred Bilenikoff Award, which goes to the nation's top wide receiver, and it went to Mekhi Lemon, wide receiver from USC. But I found it interesting because Mekhi Lemon is in the Big Ten. Jeremiah Smith, wide receiver, one that I raved about, Ohio State as well. Jeremiah Smith wins best wide receiver for the Big Ten award. But Mekhi Lemon takes home the Fred Bilenikoff Award. Now, had Mekhi Lemon been in another conference, I have no gripes. With him winning it. But you can't give the Big Ten Best Wide Receiver Award to Jeremiah Smith and then the Fred Bilenikoff Award to Mekhi Lemon. It doesn't make sense because they're both in the same conference, yet you didn't win for Best Wide Receiver in your own conference. So the award had to either go to Jeremiah Smith or somebody from another conference. That don't make sense. But again, congrats to Mekhi. And they both had identical stats. And Jeremiah Smith missed one game. So Mekhi had a game over him. And they still had identical. They both had 11 touchdowns. Jeremiah had 80 catches. Mekhi had 79. I think Mekhi had 1,154 yards. I think Jeremiah had just over 1,000, like 1,050, something like that. So it was still close. But that's crazy. And of course, Jeremiah, he got on his Twitter. He dropped the clip from Paid in Full where, basically with Mitchell's crying, he about to be on some murders. Hey, dog might be on the crash course for this playoff. But I did find that kind of interesting. Like, all right, bro, like, how can you give him Big Ten Conference Wide Receiver of the Year, but you give another guy in this conference who didn't win the award the Fred Bilenikoff Award? Now people say, "Oh, different voters, different." It just don't make sense, bro. It's logically it don't make sense. If you was gonna give it to somebody, you give it to somebody outside the conference, or you give it to Jeremiah Smith. That's just Simple math right there, bro. That's just simple math. So moving on to some NBA talk. So I want to salute and give props to the Oklahoma City Thunder because these niggas have been on historic. They tied for the best start by a team, and but they actually just lost to the Spurs, so they are now 24-2. But they started off 24-1. That's probably the best start since the Warriors, 2016 season and the Bulls 95-96 season. So salute to the Thunder. But I've been seeing this conversation surrounding, is OKC bad for the NBA? And one of the things that basketball discourse has, and I said this before, basketball NBA discourse is, I don't know what it is that it brings out at people, but it seems like a lot of motherfuckers just love to just ultimately complain. I do have my gripes with the NBA, but ultimately I love the NBA. I love where it's at. I love the stars. Y'all know I rave and I give my props and my roses to everybody who I feel like is doing anything in this league. Is everything perfect? No. But this conversation about OKC being bad for the NBA, why? How are they bad for the NBA? It just seems like there's no pleasing some of y'all niggas. It's no pleasing. It's no pleasing the fan. It's no pleasing the player. It's just a lose-lose. They're not bad for the NBA. This is great shit. I love to see teams like this going historic record pace and breaking records and shit. That's why you play the game. That's a part of it. Records being broken. This is history in real time. I be saying it all the time. We watching Joker make history in real time. We watching Giannis making history in real time. We watching Luka making history in real time. We watching SGA making history in real time. But y'all, to watch basketball from a perspective of that, you got to find everything wrong with it. Everything. I'm not talking, there's nothing wrong with having but literally everything. Literally everything. Not OKC. OKC not bad for the league. They just that great. These niggas putting belt to ass. That's just what it is. But what's funny is because a couple of years ago, people didn't see this coming. But this is how an NBA team grows. They're the blueprint. A young team. We saw them in the bubble. They was a playing team. All this type of shit. They grown over the years. So, of course, when you're consistent and you keep your core together, this is the result that you want. You want to see a team start dominating to the level that they dominating, bro. At least that's how, if you're an NBA fan and you watch it, that's really how it's supposed to go. If you keep your core together for over a course of 4 or 5 years, they coming off the heels of a championship, they are supposed to be like this. This is how it's supposed to be. So no, the Thunder are not bad for the NBA. They aren't bad for the NBA. And y'all, my God, bro, NBA discourse, like I seen a conversation the other day, right? With, I think it was Jameson or Haywood. I think it was Jameson. Having these what if conversations. Y'all got to stop the what if conversations neither. I don't never see NFL legends or current players ever sit around a round table and be like, such and such couldn't play in this era. Such and such couldn't do this in this time. Oh, it's easier to do this. I never see that with NFL talk. The current players respect the legends, and the legends respect the current players. Current players and legends in the NBA, it's fucking crazy. More so the legends. These niggas sitting around talking about, oh, Shaq wouldn't be. What are you talking about, bro? Why y'all always y'all don't have nothing else to talk about? It's always these what if conversations. This era this era that, this era this era that. Bro, the era shit is fucking goofy, bro. I hate era talking to NBA. A dog is a dog no matter the era. Point blank, period. A dog is a dog no matter the era. Y'all recycling the same fucking conversation. What center could do this in what era? This power forward couldn't do this. Hakeem, Joker, Shaq this and Jordan this. Bro, it don't fucking matter. A dog is a dog regardless, bro. And it takes away from the discourse of the game. Because what's the end goal? What's the end goal with these what ifs? These hypotheticals. They don't make sense, bro. They don't. I never see that shit with the NFL, bro. I never see it. So y'all niggas need to stop that. And again, salute to the OKC Thunder, man. Y'all niggas is doing y'all thing. Continue to run this shit up. Now, some NFL shit. Now, of course, by the time this show airs, my Panthers have already played the game against the Saints. So the Bucks dropped the game against the Falcons. Salute to the Falcons. So now the my Carolina Panthers, are in prime position to win the NFC South for the first time since 2015. Can you believe that? Fucking 10 years, bro. It's been a long fucking road, bro. Long road. But all we have to do is handle business this week against the Saints and handle business next week against the Buccaneers at home, and we win the NFC South. That's all we got to do. Now, y'all know I've been on this podcast. I've been consistent. My only concern with this team is the guy under center. Preseason, I gave Bryce his props. He was looking good. Season start, roller coaster shit. And it's been roller coaster shit all year. So, again, I've been off him until I start to see the value of the number one pick that we drafted, and for him to be a consistently good to great quarterback. Great, because he was a number one overall pick. That's my expectations of Bryce Young, is to be a consistently great quarterback. I don't care about the win-loss aspect as much as I care about the performance. That's all I care about. So lock the fuck in. Let's win these 2 games and handle business. So we can host this home playoff game. We haven't hosted a home playoff game since 2015 NFC Championship game, and I was in the building. I was about 5 rows back. Man, what a night. Got to see my team go to the Super Bowl. We ain't had a playoff win since that game. That was 10 years ago. So handle your BI, and we going to be all right. All right? So, yeah, man, that's pretty much all I got. That's pretty much all I got this week, y'all. Again, thank y'all for tapping in with me, fucking with me. Again, please make sure y'all pursue and chase y'all goals. I don't want to say chase. I'm going to say pursue, because chase make it seem like as if they're running away from you. Continue to pursue them goals, man. Get busy. Stay disciplined. Lock the fuck in. Get your ass in that gym. Get your ass in that gym. The gym will do wonders for you, man. We going into 2026. Don't go get a new gym membership in January and all this other shit, and then you fall off after a month, 2 months. Nah, lock the fuck in for the whole 12 months. And you'll be amazed at what progress you got. And ultimately, please be safe. So like I say every week, this is I'm Not Repeating Myself podcast. I'm your host, Mike, and I hope you heard what I said the first time, because I'm not repeating myself. I'm out.